introducing our fantastic panelists for tonight, and we have two of them who are fabulous. Read, of course, looking at their bios, I did not know this much about them, but it is always nice to know. So let me begin with LD1 Itzik Solsky. Itzik joined Opulence Global a year ago, a year in which he won the MGRS 9 times while building a network with 17 direct partners and about 70 personal customers in 8 different countries. He delivers weekly trainings and presentations for the Israeli network on a wide variety of topics. Itzik Solsky is a multifaceted personality, a renowned concert pianist, wow, a strong chess player, as well as a backgammon master. He also owns the Solsky Translations International Company. Itzik is fully fluent in 5 languages and has lived in 6 countries before making Opulence Global his first real MLM experience when he joined us in late August 2022. Itzik lives in Brussels, Belgium. He is married and has 2 grown children. So thank you for being with us this evening. And second, but by no means least, we have LD3 Ronan Trifon. He was born in Melbourne, Australia. He moved to Israel as a young child with his family and raised there till he returned to Australia at the age of 20. After 30 years in the world of information technology, working for companies like Microsoft and others, eventually managing Southeast Asia for a configuration management company, Ronan discovered there is no better industry than direct sales and network marketing. He is a sought-after public speaker, coach, and mentor to thousands around the globe. He has over 32 years in the MLM industry and is on the advisory board with CEO and top leadership of Opulence Global Company, as he has been with the company for 8 years. Ronan is the pioneer and founder of Australia, New Zealand, and the Israeli markets. In fact, Ronan has had 2 life-changing experiences in opening new countries for networking companies. Ronan has multiple top leadership awards, free LD2 cruise, and free exotic vacation. What makes Ronan really unique is his philosophy and long-term focus about MLM and what really creates duplication and retention. Most of all, he is a good friend of mine and believes in impacting and empowering others to make a better world for us all. Also recently, he received the top Middle East income earner and as well as one of the top 10 MGRS qualifiers for Opulence Global Company. Welcome, gentlemen, and thank you for taking the time to be with us and teaching us all that we need to know this evening about the forensic networker. So I turn it over to you.
You are muted, Ronan.
You are muted.
That helps.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
You do not need to take your picture off while we start because I'm talking about you. I think you're doing an amazing job hosting edifications that long. And I guess the longer we live, the more we do, the more we can write about ourselves things. But the way that you are delivering it, it's amazing because when it's that long, it usually gets boring. But you know when to pause, you know when to really give it some soul, and I think you are doing a great job being a host.
Thank you very much. My profession is public relations, so it kind of comes naturally to me. But thank you.
Okay. Now
Bye-bye.
we're going to take that power, public relation power, and convert it into LD4, royal, presidential. That's where we're going. We're all taking our powers, putting them together as a team, and we utilize each other's skill. I am so honored today. The best part of this industry for me is what really happens with people that we connect with out of pretty much not knowing them and seeing the unique ones grow fast. And I've had many great people in my life that I've learned from and that I passed information to. And I've been saying for a while now that Isaac Solsky, LD1, we call him Tzachi, aka, he's definitely, if not the best, one of the best students I've ever had the pleasure to work with, to the point that I almost on a daily basis learn from him. And I think that's the best type of mentorship that you guys can develop with your people, not just coming as a teacher, but coming as a teacher and a student at the same time, putting your ego at the right place, remembering we're not always right and we're not always, we not only our way or the way we see things should work. And if you have that flexibility, you will allow the essence of the great people that you will recruit to come in and allow you to grow together with them. And Isaac, you have definitely been that case. And I know you just came back from convention in Toronto that I've missed. So if you want to share before we start with our show today, if you want to share maybe 1 minute on how was your experience as a person that's never been in multi-level market and actually grew very fast in his first year and now arrived at his first convention, first time to actually see the owner, the SVP, Daniela, our amazing staff, the showroom, black tie event. I mean, it's pretty wild when you hit it the first time. So if you want to share a minute on that, I think it's worthwhile, and then we'll jump into our training today.
Yeah, I will definitely do that. And I will also speak about you in the third person because we speak to our audience. And yes, Canada was an incredible experience. But I must say that this year for me, at least in the MLM sense, felt like a number of years because I was very, very fortunate to connect from before day one, from before joining, with one of the greatest storytellers that I ever met in my life. Ramin says that we are all well-paid storytellers. And even this expression I learned from LD3 Ronan. And Ronan managed from the first beginning, not only to teach me how it's done and how to solve many problems, many issues, and many uncertainties of starting out on a completely new road after age 50. I've never been in MLM. I've never been in sales. I'm a musician. I'm a translator. It was completely new to me. But also tell me all of the stories of what goes around, how the world of MLM looks from an overview, how it looks in this company, in other companies, what an international MLM scene looks like, from a man who really built it himself with his bare hands. We all heard that in several different countries, in this company alone, which is most likely the best one in the industry. And Ronan has been here for 32 years, out of which the last 10 are here in Opulence Global. So the conference in Canada was an incredible opportunity to meet everybody that I've been hearing about or interacting with a little bit with the webinars, meet them in person, see how they are friendly and human, how they are eye level, how they will sit with you and have a conversation with you, no matter if you are a leader or a neophyte or a candidate or a customer. They will find the time to speak with you according to the level that you can understand things. In a very friendly way. They don't mind being vulnerable on occasion, speaking about their own challenges. And of course, the showroom and the professional presentations with the very rich presentations of materials like it is done in the office company. There is so much to learn just hanging around the office, hanging around those people, accompanying them as they do it, as René Liao delivers a presentation. Just so much to learn. It was very short, very sweet, and it leaves me really wanting a lot more.
You know, Isaac, through 33 years now, I've started in 1990 with my first company. Through 33 years, I've seen over and over the same thing. I've seen people, even as great as you were, right, as a student, I've seen people make the same mistake over and over. We don't know the power of convention or an event or a conference. And I remember our conversation and you telling me, no, I'm not going to conference. What conference? I remember in the beginning. How are you any different today, before you went and after you went? And are you happy with the choice of going? And what would you say to everyone that didn't go about going to events?
Going is definitely great because you get to spend, in this case, it was 2 or 3 very concentrated days with very intense learning, very intensive learning. It's like, okay, it's very well to come to the company webinars every week or several times a week and get the lessons. But when you are there in the hall with the owner of the company or with the vice president of the company, you must see a mirror in front of your face and you compare yourself to all of the data that you are learning about forensic, about the product. You see the gaps between your performances and where you should be. You see the gaps between your knowledge about the products and where you should be. And some decisions definitely suggest themselves. And I came back with some leadership decisions and some new leadership activities that my partners, especially in Israel, are going to feel very, very soon. I'm currently processing or working out some new methodology of following up closer with the leaders in my team, making sure that I'm really accompanying them week after week with their MGRSs, with their challengers, with their what we call flaps and handlings, things that don't go so well and what they do about it. I know that I can always count on your help, Roner, and on my amazing My5s, like Renee, like Reza, like Sherry, even like Yulia, like Nathaniel. You are always there, a group of people to give me more and more answers and more solutions. But finally, it comes down to me, what I do with my team. If I have a team of motivated people, it is one thing to just follow up with them on My5 and answer their questions and meet them from time to time. And it's a completely different thing to follow up with them every week, see how they're doing, what they need, what challenges they had, follow with the rhythms of ups and downs of activities, and really guide them. It is one thing to win most of the MGRSs, and it's completely different when your team is doing that. And that's what I really want to start seeing as I start my second year in this incredible business.
Let's go it. Let's start the show. I will share my screen and we're going to have some fun. Can you see my screen, Tzachi?
Perfectly.
Perfectly. Okay. So, we had to pick. There was a lot of forensic material being given in Toronto, and we had to pick what to do. How do you pick out of such good content which part you want to do? So strategically, we have hitchhiked the next 2 times, which means we have today and we have next week. So we can actually give more. And due to that fact, we have decided to start from the beginning and see how far through this remarkable training we can go. We will continue next week exactly where we stopped, either both of us or maybe Tzachi on his own, because he can do this and I really enjoyed listening and learning while he's doing it. But I thought today we'll just start from the beginning for all the people such as me that did not have the pleasure of being in forensics in convention. At least we're going to go over this material from beginning like you have been there. And for everyone that was smart enough to get to convention and seeing this is going to be a great repetition on everything we've seen, because I can watch and read this 20 times and every time I will learn something new. Okay? So before we start with everybody, let's see if everyone on the call is with us and alive. Can you guys give us some love, give some hearts? Let's wake up. I want to see some hearts flying and seeing that you're with me. Perfect. Look at all those loves and attention. Now, you need to be close to your computer on your smartphone because we're going to do some interactivity work. Either myself or Tzachi will do some polls. We ask some questions. So we want to see that you're with us. Okay? Let's go through the Forensic Networker Academy Level 1 V-Perfect launch. And obviously, anything that we talk about Forensic Networker, we must talk about the man of the hour, what I call the Hall of Fame legend, Ramin Mazgalu, the owner of our company, and really the visionary and the creator of things that if you haven't done this industry for 15 years, you don't even see. You don't know his brilliance and how accurate every move, every piece of the compensation plan is. And you can see that through the quality of the products that this factory is making, right? So Ramin Mazgalu, and I will let you, Isaac, your English is more accurate than mine. Why don't you introduce Ramin Mazgalu through reading everything that he has done on this slide?
With pleasure, we are going to read this slide about Ramin Mazgalu, who built 4 multi-million-dollar MLM businesses as a distributor before starting GWT, later Opulence, founded MLM's premier and most prestigious company, Opulence Global, ranked as a top momentum company in the industry during the pandemic, businessforhome.org 2020. He was voted the world's top MLM compensation plan expert in 2011. Voted number 2 in the world all-time MLMer in 2014, again in Business for Home, which is described as the Bible of MLM, so that's quite a prestigious nomination. Voted the world's top trainer in 2020, again by Business for Home. There is some consistency here. One of the first network marketing Hall of Fame inductees, along with Paul Zane Pilzer and others. And he was also nominated by Ernst & Young, this very important evaluation expert, as Entrepreneur of the Year, featured in the Networking Times as a master networker. Obviously, when you know the methodology, the forensic networker, and the care in creating the programs, the compensation plan, the culture, everything about this company screams perfection. Not that we are perfect, but compare us to the other companies, I mean, it's really miles. And then he featured twice in the American Business Journal, one of which with Warren Buffett on the cover. And he founded MLM's most advanced MLM university, the Forensic Networker, about which we're going to start today. Was he born with special talents? I believe he was, but he says he wasn't. And he says, we all start at the same place, but some of us decide not to stay there, keep evolving.
You know, when we read those things and we see those lines, I like to take a second and visualize what does it take to achieve each and every one of those lines. You know, even if you look at the simple fact that he was on the American Business Journal with Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is one of the most unique businessmen anyone will have a chance to meet. And not only they're meeting, they're together on the same magazine, the American Business Magazine. This is a Canadian company. You look at a man that started this empire called Opulence Global, started it in his home, in a little office, and then grew and grew and grew over 18 years. So every line that you read here should not just be a line. It should be an attribute to everything this man you see here has done, not only for himself or his family, but for all of us, his family. Okay, and I am very proud to be led by a person that can achieve so much, because it puts the bar high. I can do another 10 years and still not achieve the things that he has done. So I have a lot to grow, and if I'm going to choose someone to follow, they better give me a big space of learning, a big range, and not for me to pass them in 2 weeks, right? This is the man and the legend, and I want to look at this disclaimer, right? The Forensic Networker puts a disclaimer. Pay attention. The Forensic Networker is not for MLM sometimers. Now, what I would like to see, actually, let's make a poll. Tzachi, do you have access to the poll there?
I don't think so. Normally I would, but now I don't see that menu. But we can make a poll and ask for reactions, people giving hearts and people giving thumbs up or something like that.
Okay, we'll do a poll after. At the moment, everybody puts in the chat. If you believe that you are a category 6, 7, or 8, put your category. If you believe that you are a category that is below 6, 7, and 8, please pay attention to this disclaimer. Everything you're going to learn here is not for MLM sometimers. An MLM sometimer will not be able to understand why they're telling me to do all this stuff. He won't be able to understand why do I need to learn all this stuff. An MLM sometimer doesn't need much, because they only sometime do some promoting activity, but they don't really have big networks. They don't need to learn all of this philosophy. So please, everybody, put in the chat, and you, Tzachi, tell me if we have a few part-time, serious, and full-timers with us, so we know that we're talking to the right crowd. Now,
I see a bunch of category 8s, 3 category 8s, 3 people. Actually, we have here 4. Another one with category 7. Yeah,
there we go.
Some of them start answering.
We
have Ifrah Hassan in category 8. Of course, we know that. We knew that she was category 8. That's hardly a surprise. LD4, Ifrah Hassan. And we have Rebecca with transitioning to 6, which is a good thing, I suppose. Mariam, serious part-timer. I know that. We met in Canada, of course. She's a very serious part-timer.
There we go. Beautiful. So we are talking for the right crowd. And this
Julia jumping the bridge and becoming a part-time, which is a good thing. Part-time,
beautiful. So the forensic system is a highly advanced scientific, which means there is science behind the madness, okay? It's not just someone creating something out of nothing. Scientific means there are action, measurement, correction, right? We create a hypothesis. We eventually end up with a deduction, right? With something that is proven and been improved, which means that this is really a scientific and advanced system, okay? And it's a multi-level markets only full-time business plan for the most serious networkers. Okay, pay attention to those things, because we can fly through slides, but not really understand what they mean for us. Pay attention. The author, Ramin Mazgalu, is described as a tough coach with stern delivery that may awake up some people. Student, discretion is advised, which means do not come to study forensic networker if you still have issues with your ego. Do not come because you want to be right. Come because you want to learn, you want to evolve, you want to find all the things you cannot see and bring them into your life. Because the forensic does say, Ramin says, it's what we know that will hurt us, right? Okay, so the forensic networker will be known as the truth in MLM training, right? Chris Gross, CEO of Networking Times. The foundation, Calgary Tower. What would you say on this slide, Tzachi, yourself? You've been to the forensic now, and there might be a story behind every picture. Do you have a story for us for the foundation in Calgary Tower?
Indeed, indeed. This is quite easy because, you know, I was right there in the hall in the Hilton in Toronto with Ramin standing on the floor, barely starting the seminar. It was just 10 o'clock. Many people are still kind of sleepy with their coffees, and he starts bombarding us. He didn't give very long introductions. He spoke about being a stern tutor, and you can just see that looking at him. It's a little bit scary being in that thing, but it's good scary because it keeps you on the edge of the seat, and you say, okay, I come here, make me wrong, show me where I'm missing, and you don't have to wait very long. And Ramin starts the presentation with this beautiful image, clear blue sky, some clouds, and a very high tower. And he says, please get to know Calgary Tower. It's one of the biggest towers, of course, in the Ontario area. This Calgary Tower, would you know that there are 13,000 tons of material put into this tower? It's really mighty and high, 13,000 tons. You say, okay, that's quite an impressive tower. And then Ramin surprises us by saying, would you guess that out of 13,000 tons, 7,000 are actually below the ground? What is the importance of laying some kind of a foundation? You want to build something high, impressive. The majority of it you are not going even to see. It's going to be buried under the ground, but it holds the entire structure, because if you don't have that, you will have a wobbly structure. It's going to shake, it's going to fall, the winds, the hurricanes, the tornadoes. And Ramin added another interesting detail by saying that very experienced contractors, builders, or architects, they can look at a hole in the ground, the type of the terrain, the depth, the breadth of the hole, and already tell what is going to be the height of the building that can be built on those foundations. So we can extrapolate from there and say that we all dream about, the 5-figure income, the $10,000 a month. We want big businesses, big networks. We want to be like Ronen, with many continents, with many countries. We want to go there. We dream. But how many of us actually invest the time and the effort in building 2 things, 3 things? First of all, the knowledge. We need to know what to do. Okay, we need to know what to do. A second thing is building a certain habit of actually starting to do that. Starting to do that 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. And then you have the discipline of carrying on and doing that over and over and over and over and over. You could win 5 or 6 MGRSs in a row and get yourself 5 or 8 or 10 new partners and 40 or 50 new customers. But then there is always the next month, the next month, the next month. When you don't grow your business consistently, you start to stagnate. Other people in your team begin to see that you are not active. Suddenly, if you are not winning MGRS, also there goes your variance bonus, or there goes your car bonus. The check begins to diminish. So it's about really these 3 things. You need to understand what you are doing. You need to develop the habits, and you need to be consistent in actually applying the habits. And this is foundation. This is just the part that people don't see, because they will see us in the events. They will see us with the recognition, with the certificates, with the degrees, with the beautiful checks. They don't see the grit, the getting up in the morning when you feel like sleeping another 2 hours, making that phone call when you would rather do something else. That part is not seen. It is under the ground. 7,000 tons out of 30.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And I like to relate this to my building methodology, which is the same theory. If you really don't put enough material in the ground, if you only come and say, I'll find 3, 4 people and they will build my tower, what happens is you don't put stuff under the ground enough. There's no foundation. And when it does grow, because it can grow like this tower, very thin, but it will never be stable like this tower, because only 2, 1 goes, 2 goes, the whole thing drops. So that's what this reminds me, to never satisfy myself that I have 5 people personally or 10 people personally. I always want to go wide. I always want to go wide and deep in my organizations, but wide will solidify the length and strength of my business life, and the depth will give it all the essence, right? All the power after. But always go wide as you go deeper. This is a very good slide. Thank you very much for a great story. Okay, let's start moving forward. So, quick forensic network rules. If we're going to start a trip together, and this is for me what we're all doing, all of us on the call, we are now doing what we're supposed to do all the time. We're taking a PowerPoint from our leader, our mentor, and we're learning it together. I'm not here teaching you. I'm here learning it together with you. LD1, Isaac Solsky, is here learning it together with you. And the more we learn it, the more you guys can take it tomorrow and go and teach your network. And if you don't have a network, you only brought 1 person, take the PowerPoint and go and teach that person. It will help. Sure, you can take this recording, but you can do better for yourself. You can teach yourself like we are teaching ourselves now, and show it, show it, show it, always. Don't satisfy yourself with just seeing the presentation today, okay? Use it. So, guidelines, rules. Stop the multi-level market blame campaign. 32 years, 33 years I've been in this remarkable industry, beautiful industry. The people that created that industry are literally the people that has given each and every one of us a chance at financial stability, a chance at financial freedom. Those are chances. They've made different vehicles. I believe Ramin has made the best vehicle, but there are many vehicles. And if you're a great driver, you will succeed in most of them. Okay, so we can never blame the vehicle. We shouldn't blame anything, but if we're going to blame something, we better blame ourselves, right? Better not to blame, better to just say, I'm at my best, tomorrow I'll know more, tomorrow I'll do more. Blaming is sort of puts us down. So I don't need to blame myself, but I need to be aware that nothing else out there is to be blamed. Because the second that I start blaming something, the industry, anything else, I'm running away from improving myself. Please tell me what this does to you, Isaac. I see maybe you need a few seconds for yourself.
Yeah,
I was
just
just about to ask you, what does this first line means to you? Stop the MLM blame campaign, because you've never been in MLM, so you never really had a chance to blame anything because you've only experienced growth and fairly good success for the first year. But what does this line mean to you from what you have seen?
Yeah, I must say that I absolutely love this business, but you know, the MLM blame campaign is all around because everywhere you go, people scream at you, you're doing a pyramid scam, and everybody knows that MLM is a scam. Everybody knows the wrong things. What they know hurts them. But, you know, people are blaming something that they don't know much about, that is associated with some bad practices. And when we go over this slide, we will learn some things. We will learn that scams exist in most types of business endeavor, and there are different types of them. We will see that most people who start in any business, and I mean, the easiest thing is to be an employee, you know? You go, they tell you what to do, you do a job. If you are not sure, you ask questions. You never take too much initiative. You can even sleep your way out half of the working time. You draw a paycheck, you draw a pension, but obviously tomorrow that work for a place is closed, and suddenly you are unemployed and you don't know what to do. But starting a business, suddenly it's all on your shoulders. It can be a company, you can be a trader, you can invest, you can build a web company. And the rates of failure are enormous in most of the other businesses, enormous. And Ramin gives the rates of failure because he did his research and he studied how many people failed. The numbers are astonishingly high because most people who start something take parenting. You know, you want to do it and you have to do that, but you don't have the tools, you never learned it, you don't have the manual, you make some mistakes, you procrastinate, you take advice from the wrong people, you join forces with the wrong people, and suddenly you fail. So what? If I start a translations company and it fails, I'm going to blame translations. I will say translations are a scam. No, but people do permit themselves to do that with MLM. And let's hear more about in this slide about how it breaks down.
Sounds good. I will give you the slide with the numbers of the failure after, and it's coming after. So just the rules, we'll run through them quickly. MLM is a method of distribution, like franchising, stores, internet, right? Don't blame the vehicle, blame the driver if you need to blame anyone. If you spend tens of thousands and open a store and the store fails, like 80% of all stores open fail, do you blame traditional business? Do you say, oh God, no, I'm never going to open a store, it's a bad industry? No, you don't. If you spend hundreds of thousands and bought a franchise, McDonald's, Starbucks, whatever, you wish hundreds of thousands, they're more like millions, but, and if they fail, by the way, 66% of all franchise fail. Do you blame the franchising industry? No, you're going to stand in line if you have the money to buy the next McDonald's, right? If you spend thousands on web business and didn't make any money, like 99% of all people that don't make money, do you blame the web? No, you blame yourself for not knowing how to do it, right? If you lost money on Forex trading, 97% do you blame Forex? No. If you lost money on the stock market, like 92% do you blame the stock market? No. So we must understand those rules because they set our mindset when we start a business, how are we going to treat our business? What kind of culture will my business have? Please continue.
Yes, I love the wisdom of very experienced people who just cut through all of the mess and give you one clear key data. I've been struggling with people who speak about pyramid scams, Ponzi scams, and Ronen knows I've been leaving recordings of a quarter of an hour explaining how it is different. And then you meet Mr. Mesgarlo, and he just gives you something that you can tell in 15 seconds. How can you tell if you are dealing with a legitimate multi-level marketing business, a distribution business with people who are simply advertising, promoting, and delivering products? How can you tell the difference between that one and some kind of a Ponzi scheme? Simple. He says here, what about the false claims? It is easy to identify scams in MLM. If a company pitches invest and make money, say, okay, come and give me the $2,000, you will make $1 million. Okay, you are looking at a scam. It's a scam, period. But if the company tells you, listen, we have great products, why don't you try them, use them, start a business, learn how it works, give it some time, give it 3 to 5 years, go to the trainings, work with your mentors. This is an opportunity that you should look into. Simple. It's not even similar. And even he goes further and he says, okay, we are not working in some kind of a wild field. There is such a thing as regulation. We have the Federal Trade Committee in the United States, the FTC, that was established after a long legal battle in the 1970s. You can watch an amazing recording by Ronan on his channel that is called The History of Multi-Level Marketing, and learn about this legal battle. And as a result, there were very, very clear criteria. How can you tell a legitimate MLM business? And it is designed to accomplish two things. First of all, you want to push away the investors, somebody who comes in order to make a quick buck. You don't want these people because they can actually degenerate even the best of cultures. You want to push them away. And who do you want to protect? You want to protect two types of people: people who love using good products, the users, and people who love telling others about the amazing qualities of the products that you use. I'm a consumer of FOL and of the Safe Home Revolution. I love the products. I enjoy the products. I enjoy speaking about the products. I enjoy meeting people and finding their need and replenishing their need and see improvements in their lives. I love that. So the legislation is there to protect me. If there was a company in the market that was a scam, that company would be closed in a year or two. Opulence Global is there for 18 years. It has no debts. And it's really good that we have the forensic networker method to easily distinguish the scam from the legitimate.
Those two things I'm going to touch on again, because most people get very confused. They say, what do you mean you're trying to scare away investors? It's very simple. Think about it. People that we call investors, they have money and they want to put their money somewhere so the money will work for them, right? Those are investors. It's a mistake to want to have an investor in a business that each one of us is here to promote a product, right? And to build a network. We are doers. We are not at the stage of having money and putting it to make money for us. We're at the stage of learning how to make money so we can become investors. Anyone that does this industry and succeeds and make money enough to invest will never stop doing this because it's a bug. Even when you don't need the money anymore, you will never leave your family. And that's why an investor mindset will not survive here if all he wants is to come and buy 10 positions like he's buying a lottery ticket and think, it's going to make me money. No, we're trying to deter the investors and bring the workers in order to become investors and stay workers because you're building and developing a family. Thank you very much, Isaac. That was a really good slide. I like that one. Okay, very similar with those advantages, a few disadvantages, like in everything. So, MLM advantages over competition, right? We have a low startup cost and maintenance, so pretty much anyone can start this business. You don't need to come with $100,000 to start, right? It's low maintenance. You can leverage what you're doing in your life on top on doing this business. That's why it's called part-time serious. Whatever skills you had, you can bring here, come as a student, leverage on what you're already doing. Most other business will not allow you to leverage another job. They will not allow you. You have to stop the job, stop one kind of business, and go invest a lot of money, and you cannot leverage. You have to do only that. So leverage is a big deal when we understand it. Equal opportunity to all. So many people make the mistake of thinking this is a skill-based business. It is not. If you want a skill-based business, go and get a job that requires you to go to university, develop a particular skill, a surgeon, an engineer, whatever, and then get paid for it. This is not this industry. In this industry, you learn all the skills you need as you grow here, because the laws of physics are very different in a world that your consumers are also generating income by building you up. It's a unique relationship that doesn't happen in conventional business. So with us, equal opportunity to all. any place in the planet. Never mind if you don't have a dime on you. Never mind what you believe in. Doesn't make a difference. You have an equal opportunity as Tzachi, as me, as LD4 and Eliyahu, LD4 Ifra Hassan. Equal opportunity to all. So make no mistakes and no excuses. Oh, I can't talk like Ronen. I can't do. No, we can do anything we set our mind to. And if we don't do that, that's our own excuses. We are the one that's missing on the opportunity, which is equal to all of us. Okay, big deal, this one. Okay, replace the massive middleman profit for the new people and with MLM compensation plan for the many. Right, so what we're really doing here is we are basically taking all the conventional business middlemen, right? A manufacturer sells to a wholesaler, sells to a retailer, and sometimes there are people in the middle, right? All of those people, they put their hand, and the customer only enjoys a great product. With us, the customer actually gets Opulence pays up to 70% back to its field in order to create life and opportunities, financial and others, for families around the world. Right? So we must understand, so many people come to me and say, if your product is so good, why do you sell it in a pyramid? Why do you sell it through this way? Why don't you make billions by selling it online? The simple answer is because the idea is not just one body makes money. The idea is, how do we make the whole bloody planet take opportunity of being not only consumers, but creating income, each one according to their amount of work. But you cannot get that in conventional business. In conventional business, only the owners of the business and the middleman makes the money. Here, we are the middleman and the customers. And that is the brilliance of this industry. We must understand that. Business beyond borders, you can see we have social media. Someone like me can have customers and partners in 100 countries. That is not available in conventional business. And if you reach it, it's because you're a Microsoft. It's because you became such a monster over 30 years that, yes, you can have global expansion. But there is no business on this planet that you can come in and in your first month, open 10 countries. It's not possible. It's only possible because we have a body like Opulence behind us that manufactures, warehouses, sells the products, give customer support. They do everything for us. But here I am, hey, look at me, I've got business in 100 countries. How many people can say that in conventional business? They cannot. So you see, once you realize where we are, what we have, it changes the way that you approach people. Because if your energy is uneducated and you approach them with insecurity, that's what they're going to get. Remember, you are representing the #1 private fashion house in Canada. It's a big deal, right? Do not give the energy that you represent some shonky Chinese, Japanese, Mediterraneanese, something weird. No. Walk tall, proud, you're the CEO of a massive, successful organization, right? So you need to have those knowledge between you. Tax benefits, we all know great tax benefits in this industry. Everything that I buy, I can almost claim, which I can't do with normal businesses. So there is really good tax benefit in our industry and in our company. And you should talk to your accountant to find out more about your tax benefits from this industry in your country, right? Would you say fairly safe? Isaac, would you say this is a fairly safe business to invest into? Can I lose something here?
Exactly. If we speak about safety, the opposite of safety would be risk-taking or danger. And the only danger here is simply not to do it. And if you don't do it, what did you lose? You lost the little time that you invested into it. Most people who despair before they actually do much. So that's not much lost. And you cannot even lose money in here because everything you invest here you get back in products, and not just in products, you get it in discounted products. You get, in the worst case, you get access to a level of discount that people who never became partner don't have. They pay the full price, and they're very happy to consume it. In our company, we have more than 4 customers for every partner, and the customers pay full price. So if you fail the business, at least you get a 30 or 37% discount on all of the products. And if this is failure, then okay, we can describe it as fairly safe. There is no question.
It is definitely fairly safe. Massive income potential for someone with no skill to come and learn, take action, and then generate incomes that took other people in normal businesses sometimes 10 years to get to. You see, a lot of people talk about, I'm making 5,000 a month, 10,000 a month. What they don't really understand is, what does it mean, truly, those numbers? You see, they think salary. I like to think real estate. You see, how much real estate will I need to own if I want to rent it and make money out of that? And most people do not realize that if you want to make 10,000 a month, you probably will need about 4 different properties. 4, if not 6, right? In order to only make that. So those 4 or 6 properties will most likely cost you a few $1 million. So you invest a few $1 million to make $10,000 a month. It's actually less because you have to pay companies to manage the properties, and you have to pay taxes on it. You know, you have mortgages on the properties, so it's less. But when I think, wait a minute, how long will it take me to get $4 or $5 million to buy 6 properties in order to get that 10,000? People do not understand that sometimes $500 a week, a month, not a week, a month, $500 a month can save many families mortgages from losing their house. $500 a month. So massive income potential. It's just that when I say that, people immediately think billions of dollars, and they think, I said, no, keep it real towards your life, towards what you can actually earn without this industry. And remember, today we're talking about the MLM industry, not just opulence. I believe opulence is the #1 in the industry, but we're talking about this industry. I want you all to love it. I want you to respect it. I want you to understand it's not just opulence, it's this whole industry that's brilliant, because it's designed for the people and not just for the individuals that, you know, the Bill Gates of this world and those massive operators. No, this is for the people. This is why this is so important. And the biggest part, my favorite part, and I know most people come for the money and they come for many other reasons. My favorite part is what this industry did to me since I was 22 years old. I am 56, and I had 33 years of personal development and trainings that has literally changed my life. No job ever gave me that level of caring, of development, and in all cases for free. For free. This is what I will say about this slide. If you have anything to add to this slide, which I very much like, you're welcome to, and if not, I'll go to the next one, Isaac.
Yes, I have a couple of additional comments. Of course, the name of this slide is how does MLM distribution compare to the competition, the brick and mortar stores? And we went over the advantages and the disadvantages. The low startup cost and the maintenance, we know that it's an advantage. It's really easy to enter. It's also a disadvantage because a priori we are less committed, we are risking less. It might hurt a little bit to pay $1,000 or $1,300 or $1,900 in the beginning. After a month, 2 months, you forget about it. You have other things to worry about. And if you are not really dedicated, you simply forget about it and you say, fine, I will keep using the products or not. And many people go that way. Now, I do want to say a word about the leverage, because Ronen, LD3 Ronen was speaking a lot about leveraging our normal lives. If we own another business, we have clients in that business. If we have connections, we have those connections are on social media, and we can leverage them for the MLM. But leveraging also means another thing. which is very special, and we don't have that in traditional business at all. Okay, that I'm a business owner and I can walk my business and advertise and get a bunch of clients. This can happen in any business. If I'm really good in taking care of my clients and finding new clients, I will succeed in any business. But in any other, give me one more business in which I can have 100 or 500, like Ronen, close to 10,000 people that some of them I didn't even meet or know or train. And all of them are working, and I'm leveraging their work. I'm making money out of the work of 10,000 different people. This is huge leverage. These are people that I would never even think about meeting if I didn't have this platform, this company, this manufacturer, these products. It's a gift that I'm getting, and I'm getting, admittedly, I'm getting a small percentage, but thank you. I would like to have a small percentage of the work of 1,000 or of 10,000 work. This is leverage that you never see anywhere else, unless you are running a very big company. If you are running Microsoft or even a local food empire in your own country, yes, you would be leveraging the work of 20,000 people. But this is a lot of a headache. You need to manage these people. You need to make sure that they are working properly. Here, a lot of this is done for you because you have leaders inside the network under you. You have the company webinars. You can do many things, but you are enjoying the work of many people. And when we speak about a massive income potential, this is something that many people miss. Many people are risk averse. And because when we grew up, when we became human in prehistorical times, it was much more painful to be eaten by a snake than it was pleasurable to find our next meal. We tend to overemphasize risk and loss. And if we dare to think about anything positive at all, we can dare to think about the extra $500 a month or a week. We can even think about making a comparable salary. How many of us actually have the courage to think about $100,000 a month? We have one man in this company named René Liao, who made $100,000 in a month with a network of only 7,000 people, which is a network that you could build if you persist in this business for a certain number of weeks and you simply do month by month your work. You will build that kind of a network, and you can build that kind of a paycheck. It's not in the sky. How many of us have even the courage to dare to think in those numbers? Massive income potential. In which other business you can enter without any knowledge, without any skills? I entered at age 50 plus without any knowledge. Everything I know, I learned in this company, a lot of it from Ronen. And yes, I know that I can make $100,000 a month. I don't even ask myself the question. It is there. I just need to keep doing what I'm doing, and I will grow. And the growth doesn't stop at 10,000. 10,000 is when it becomes fun, but it can keep growing. You can reach 100,000 and more than that. Why not? We are a company with an international scope. We have currently amazing room for growth. In many countries, we are still pioneering, and so many people need our products. The opportunity is there. Massive income potential.
You're on the go, so continue on the next slide.
All right, I might as well. So how does MLM distribution compare to the competition, the brick and mortar stores? We were discussing many of the advantages in the previous slides. Let's look at some of the advantages that the other type of stores have. Normally, the normal stores, they are very strong on customer service. If you own a store and somebody comes and buys from you, you better give them service because you will feel it if they disappear. In MLM, sometimes we can feel that we can be lazy. There is a company, they will handle it. Many times we sell products, we want to make the sale, and we forget about the customer. We don't have our MLM box. We don't do proper follow-up. And there is no really customer service unless we put it there. If we do put it there, we definitely increase our paycheck, because it's not only about what our network is doing. We can hold customers and make a couple thousand every month, even when we are just getting started, just on customers, before the network is even busy. But yes, it's a disadvantage. We don't have built-in customer service. The training also, we need to create it. We need to create our webinars. We need to work. We have this amazing thing in Opulence Global specifically that is called the My5. You don't have that in other companies. So when you join in another company, if you are lucky, you have a mentor who cares about you. If you are not lucky, they said, okay, please invest your money, and that's the last time you hear about them. We don't have training in the industry, but we are getting a little bit better in that, especially in Opulence Global. If somebody wants the training here, you will have plenty of it. Ronen created a lot of training content that can really simply take your business and build it from day one. And I know because I followed and I built. And then, okay, another disadvantage, we were hinting about it in the previous slide, we were showing it as an advantage, But yes, it is a disadvantage. It's too easy to enter. The cost is too little. There is too little commitment a priori. And you say, fine, you know, if it doesn't work, what did they lose? They still use the program. It's too comfortable not to do anything. And that's a disadvantage, because if you open a traditional business, only the notarial fees in registering the business, only finding the employees, only finding if you need a building or anything, paying the overhead expenses, paying the taxes, the electricity, it's horrible if you don't make it, okay? It's hard. So you better do something. And here, you know, the disadvantage is it's too easy to fail. And it's even easier because you can always say, well, it was a scam from the beginning. It was just a pyramid scheme. It's too easy. Now, another disadvantage that we have in our business is that people focus, this is really a problem, because if you focus on income too early, you kill yourself because you tell yourself the wrong story. You say, okay, other people my age, they have a job and look at me with this MLM and I'm barely making any money. But if you focus on sales, you will get more sales because you can get in touch with more people. And focusing on expansions and sales in our business are quite synonymous. And this is something that I wanted to comment in a previous slide about the investor mindset. What is the investor mindset? You think, okay, I have some money and I'm going to let the money work for me. And what do I shy away from? I shy away from communication. I shy away from people. I don't need people. I don't need communication. I have today $10,000 and I'm going to double that amount by investing. And MLM is exactly the opposite. It's about go into communication, show some interest in another person, find out what the other person is about, what they need, what is troubling them, get interested, develop meaningful relationship. I grew a lot in this year, a lot through the work of Ronen, who is a great preacher of communication and understanding and learning to work with other people, getting more connection, making those phone calls, don't only engage in text messaging. You learn a lot and your life becomes more meaningful. And wait a minute, did we just change the slide? I didn't notice. Yes, we're in a
I
different
changed
slide.
it because I'm about to, we are getting very close to the end. I'm about to summarize the last two slides very quickly. I just wanted for you to finish. And, you know, many people might say that the reason I say you're such a good student is because you don't stop giving me compliments. So I appreciate them very much, but you're making me blush.
I can't help it. It's stronger than me.
Very quickly, I see some hands up, and we want to stick to the times of forensic, which are 1 hour, unlike Super Saturdays, which are 2 hours. And as you can see, you have two storytellers here, so we can take one slide and talk about it for 2 hours. So we need to also constantly improve. Let me just summarize, just so we don't get confused between the advantages and the disadvantages, because we spoke about both in this slide. And the advantages are low start cost and maintenance. You can leverage, equal opportunity to all, replace your massive middleman profit, right? Get the profit straight to the customer. Businesses beyond borders, tax benefits, fairly safe, massive income potential, and personal development and support. The disadvantages, no customer service. We need to start giving customer service, right? Almost no training. We need to learn and train, right? Easy entry, low cost. As the one Tzachik said, it's a plus and it's a minus, and he explained why. Focus on income, it's a big disadvantage. Tzachi said that beautifully. Do not focus on income because that's an employee mentality. I work, I get paid. I work, I get paid. Here, no. You work, 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 you get paid. You work, you work, you work, you work, you work, you get paid, you get paid. You work, you work, you work, you get paid, you get paid, you get paid. You work, you get paid, you get paid, you go on a cruise, you get paid, you go on a trip, you get paid, you get paid, you get paid, you get paid, you get paid. Right? So always remember that. Do not get confused. Do not measure what you earn in your first week or your first month. Measure how many people you contacted. How many people told you no? How many told you, yes, I'm going to be your customer? How many told you, yes, I'm going to walk the path and be a partner like you? Focus on those. And remember, no accountability. This is not a job that you have a boss that you're accountable to in this industry. This can be a big disadvantage. So you have to develop self-discipline. You need to learn how to be your own boss. You need to do the same things you will do for someone else that pays you little. Do them twice as much, because here you do it for yourself, for your own business. The good news is we can implement all the pluses, and from the other industries have, but they cannot implement our pluses, right? So we can truly implement every plus that we have. Other industries, they cannot implement our pluses, which makes us the number one best industry on this planet for the average person. I want to say thank you for all of us that have stayed with us. We have gone slowly through the slides, although we give you a lot of content on each slide. I want to thank my partner, LD1 Tzachi Solsky, for doing a remarkable job. He has it fresh in his mind, better than mine, and he showed you that on a few occasions today. So I appreciate that. And maybe we can bring our incredible host so you can help us, Liz, and open mics, allow the people to talk. From my point of view, I'm not in a hurry, but I wanted to finish officially at 5. Now it's 5, and we are officially done for today. Back to you, Liz.
Okay, we only have one hand up. I'm not sure if it's by mistake, but it's from Nelly. Nelly, you can go ahead and unmute your mic if you still have a question to ask. Okay, Nelly isn't with us. It may have been a mistake. We have Rebecca. You can go ahead and unmute your mic.
Good evening, Opulence Nation. Can you hear me okay?
Rebecca. We hear you great.
Hear you loud and clear.
My brothers, Isaac and Ronan. Oh, phenomenal training. I don't know if you all just caught what he just said. It is 10 p.m. here. I'm actually at my work office because it's a great space for me to do work. And we had a tour in Ottawa tonight online, and then a strategy session for our next event. And then we hit the Zoom. So it's 10 p.m. here. Ronan just said, I'm aiming for 5. He didn't specify. It's 5 a.m. where he is.
Yeah.
And I know, Isaac, it's not much different for you.
It's
I know
4
you're
a.m. here.
in that zone. So I just want to say amazing, amazing gentlemen. For anyone listening who doesn't know me, I come from Ottawa. I have been with Opulence for 15 years. I have studied forensic for a long time. I have been at those intense 3-day, 30-hour sessions with Ramin at the helm. And it is impossible to condense forensic into 1 hour. You guys did an amazing job making it so clear, so inspirational. I had a bunch of aha moments listening, and was such a pleasure to get to meet Isaac at conference. He came all the way from Belgium on the Jewish New Year. So, brother, I want to say a special thank you to you for that and acknowledge what dedication you have. You are definitely a Ronan prodigy. I hear Ronan coming through you when you're speaking. It's just incredible. And it's so exciting to see how we all work together globally, how we all learn from each other, how we all grow from each other, and how fun it is to evolve together in this business. And MLM really is the most amazing type of business. You connect with people in a different way than you do in any other kind of corporate setting. And it really is the last bastion of freedom. And I'm so proud of every single partner who made it on here today from all over the place. I see Toronto, I see Anguilla, I see I think Amarjeet was in there. So we've got Singapore or India. I don't even know where Amarjeet is right now. I never know where Ronan is. Isaac's always going all over the place. I just want to say a big thank you to all of you. You're my family. After 15 years, you're my family. I am so happy we have people I saw leave in under not great circumstances, and they're back and they're killing it. And it just makes me so proud to be connected to every single one of you. I could talk for hours. You can know that. Anybody who has met
We
me.
don't
So
mind listening to you
you
for
all.
hours.
what's that?
We don't mind listening to you for hours.
Yes, but for some of us, it's 5 a.m. and for some of us, it's 10 p.m. and everywhere in between. So I will pass it back to you. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Great hosting. What an amazing call tonight.
Thank you, amazing, Rebecca. You're a powerhouse. It's so, I've just seen actually your presentation, short videos that were posted of this event you've just done before today, before now. It's really good to see what you guys do up there in Ottawa, if I'm not mistaken, right? You're in Ottawa now?
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you for your kind words. Always inspiring. And you know, you represent the foundation of this business. When we showed the tower, you are that stuff they've put in the underground to make this company so stable. It's because of people like you that stayed for 15 years and grow and give. We've known each other for a while. You know, yeah, the more we need more Rebeccas. So thank you very, very much for today.
I have a little announcement to make. For those of you in Toronto, every Wednesday night at 7 p.m., there is a business presentation overview in the offices done by René Liao brilliantly. I was in the presentation, I think it was a week ago or maybe 2 weeks already. It was
just
crazy.
Before the conference, yes.
I'm very, very proud and honored to announce that my own downline, Jasmine Marcos, a medical nurse, who is with us tonight on the call, is going to be delivering the product part of the presentation tomorrow at 7 p.m. in Toronto. Believe me, this lady has been with us for several weeks. She knows so much about the products and what they do on every level of the body. This is one presentation none of you want to miss, especially those in Toronto. I know that even though it's going to be 1 o'clock in the morning tomorrow night, I will be following just to listen to her speak about our miraculous products. Definitely, definitely not to miss.
Okay.
I'm going to just say thank you to everyone that's been with us before you will close with announcement, Liz. And really, thank you to everyone. It's great to see Jazz and Tonya and Maria Baptiste and LD4 Ifra Hassan. Thank you for your kind words. I appreciate that. Juliet, Betty, Kelly, Ferreira. I mean, I'm probably missing a lot of you. Gloria, Verlin, the Thai team, you know, if I've missed anyone, Julia, I really, really appreciate each and every one of you. I want to say thank you. I will close my video and leave it to our amazing host to close the call. Maybe Tzachi has any final words for me.
Thank you for your kind words.